Hi friends, how are you? You are likely going to be hearing my daughter. She's in the next room and I am just still popping in because this is what I do. I've been feeling a little bit of an undercurrent. What I've been hearing from other business owners is that they feel like they're lost in a sea of social media, and I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. That there's been a lot of changes on social media platforms like Facebook, like YouTube, like Instagram, and it's totally normal for us to feel like it's only happening to us. I also understand that as business owners, regardless of what it is you sell, you want more exposure, more people seeing what it is you're doing. You want more engagement, people talking back to you, and you want more eyes on your account, on your page. But there's also one thing I don't want you to forget. I actually want you to remember that while I want lots and lots of people interested in your business, and I want lots and lots of people buying from your business, I also understand that we never get to scale. We never get a lot of clients. We never get a lot of customers without understanding the foundation first. And that is to show up for the few people who are interested in your business now. So if you're feeling like I'm not sure what to do, if you're feeling like you're not sure what the next best step is, what I am actively doing, and I hope I'm actively doing it alongside of you after this conversation, is by going deeper with a smaller audience to figure out what they want next. And the best way for you to do this, if you don't already have a big pre-existing clientele or a massive customer set, or even if you don't have a massive free community, I want to remind you of one thing that I feel like not enough people are talking about. Friends, your Instagram captions are searchable. I want to be very careful and understand the complexity and the depth of what this means for us as business owners on Instagram. It means that people will no longer just use hashtags to be served up search content. So let's just say that you went to Instagram and you went to the search and you typed in long sleeve blue shirt. You no longer will only be able to find things by hashtag long sleeve blue shirt. But if I was a boutique owner and I took a picture of a long sleeve blue shirt and I typed in the caption, "We just got a shipment of long sleeve blue shirts," there is a chance and a higher likelihood of that content being shown to somebody who is searching for it. Your captions can be searched for. This is why when people are like, "Jasmine, why do you write such long captions?" Well, number one, I like to mix up some small, medium, and then long type captions. But now that I know that they're being searchable, specifically now that people are using reels, they're like, "I'm not sure I'm posting that much of my caption because people are just paying attention to the reel." Yeah, but how people can find your reel is on the back of searching. And now that we can search for, now that people are going to be served up search results on the back of what is on a caption, it is so important of what your caption is. So once you are serving this audience well, once you have powerful captions and content, then you want to aim to expand. So you want to go in, figure out with the small group of people who are already there, like, hey, what's working? How do I get better? And then once you do that, expand. So what does expansion look like? Well, you want to make sure that you're responding to every comment. You want to comment on posts of new followers, people who liked your account or page. You want to respond to stories. If they're, if they're YouTube shorts, Facebook stories, Instagram stories, Pinterest stories, you want to send direct message, develop personal relationships. What you want to do is to create great searchable content, and then you want to go out and give people what you want. You want more likes, you want more comments, you have to give before you get. So if we're sitting here and we're understanding that, wow, captions on Instagram are searchable, and as long as I'm being effective and creating content that I think that my dream customer would really like, now let's talk about getting discovered. It isn't until we have a basis and a foundation of strong content that then we can point people back to get discovered. So why don't we dive into the 4 ways to increase your discoverability? Number 1, create relatable content. Be somebody that they know you can know, like, and trust. Now, I have to say that how somebody gets to know you and how they begin to like you and how they begin to trust you, it doesn't look the same for everybody. In fact, I knew subconsciously and then consciously, now that I'm saying it, is when I announced, like, hey, you're going to be hearing noise in the background, my daughter's in the next room, that made some people repel. That's unprofessional. I can't pay attention. I'm getting distracted. I don't want to hear a kid in the background. And then there was another group of people who said, wow, it's really cool that there is a female CEO who is running a business with her daughter running in the background. It doesn't mean that we all know, like, and trust each other in the same way, but when we create content that owns exactly where we are in our business journey, it attracts people who appreciate it or see it the same way. Now, once we build that know, like, and trust factor, you might say, okay, but how then do I create content that people actually want to read or consume? Just because you can write and share everything doesn't mean that you should. In fact, I'm going to give you an easy way to ensure that you know what you should be sharing. I want you to focus on establishing content pillars. So you might be asking, okay, what are content pillars? Content pillars are your areas of expertise. These are topics that you can discuss frequently. In fact, if I were to ask you right now, hey, we're at a dinner party, and in 5 minutes, I need you to talk about something for 25 minutes. Anything you want, you just got to talk for 25 minutes. And you immediately come up with, I can talk about this for 25 minutes. That should probably be a content pillar, because what it comes naturally for you is most of the time likely something that's related to your business. So for example, if somebody said, hey, Jasmine, I need you to talk for 25 minutes, I'd be like, okay, I want to talk about building a brand for your business. I want to talk about marketing your business, and I want to talk about doing impossible things when the odds are stacked against you. Lo and behold, if you're on my Facebook page, my YouTube channel, my Instagram account, even if you're searching on Pinterest, you're going to see content pillars around these 3 things heavily. Okay, I didn't finish that last slide. So your areas of expertise, topics you discuss frequently, what you hope to be known for, and advice you often give. This is a great place to start, because what happens is when we can create marketing content that feels like very natural to what it is we know, what we do, what we talk about, it becomes easier instead of you being like, oh my God, what do I talk about? Well, talk about what you know. Talk about how it best serves your customers, your followers, and your business. Number 2, I'm not going to bemoan this point, but want to use relevant hashtags. Y'all know, if you guys have ever watched my videos before in the past, we've had these conversations, you know that hashtags are not all created equal. If you're on the beach, and let's say you're a life coach, please don't use the hashtag beach or ocean. It's not gonna really find like your dream client. If you're a life coach and you have a photo of you or a reel of you walking on the beach, you wanna use hashtags that like would attract a dream customer contextualized visually by what they see. Like perhaps like a hashtag like live a life you love, or build your dream life, or something like that. Something that like somebody's going to the hashtag looking for an answer, and then they come across, oh, a visual of you on the beach or a beach, and then it's contextualized. Relevant hashtags are going to be key for discoverability. Number 3 of 4 is to position yourself as an authority. Now you might say, Jasmine, I'm not an authority. Well, I always believe somebody gave me great advice early on in my business career. They said, if you know 10% more than the person you're talking to, you can position yourself as an authority. So for instance, let's just say you have a golden doodle, and you have been teaching your golden doodle, a brand new puppy, how to sit, shake, and open a door, like push open their dog door. Now, let's just say that I, tomorrow, adopt a golden doodle, and I'm like, I don't know how to get them to sit, shake, or open their door. But you've been practicing with your golden doodle every day for a month or 2 more than me. Guess what? You know 10% more than me on how to train my golden doodle. So if you were to put out content that's like, here's how to train your golden doodle puppy, I don't need you to have 40 years of experience. I just need you to know 10% more of me and then convey to me that you know what it is you're doing. We can position ourselves as an authority. We shouldn't talk ourselves out of it. Why? Because your content is your credibility. What you put out builds you as an authority. And when people trust you, they will choose you. I don't need the Caesar Milan. I don't need this brain fart. I don't need the Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. I don't need him to be teaching me how to train my golden doodle. I need to learn how to train my golden doodle by somebody who's created content in a way that resonates with me and that I trust. And friends, that is the game. Can you put out content to position yourself as an authority that resonates with people, makes them know, like, and trust you? So what we will then go from there is once we have all of these things in place, it leads us to point number 4, and that is to be consistent. And I understand whenever I talk about consistency, people are like, I can't. I've just come off the most really hard 2 years in my business. Or people are like, I'm just starting a business and it is a scary time to start business. I don't know when to show up. I get so tired. I get like a push and I'm ready to do it and then I just stop. I'm here to tell you that like, I don't want to create live videos on Facebook or post on YouTube or go live on Instagram or do a reel on Instagram every day. It's not like I wake up and I'm like so excited to do it. I am, however, really excited to build a business. And I am not interested in building a business. I am actively pursuing building a business because our behavior changes. If you tell me, hey, I'm interested in building a graphic design business, I'm like, great, that's good, awesome. But I am not going to be the person for you. I don't do well. I'm not a good coach. I'm not a good authority for people who are interested in things. I'm a good coach. I'm a good authority. I'm a good kick in the pants person for somebody who's dedicated to building a business. If you're dedicated to building a business, great. Because if you're dedicated to it, then I'm just going to sit here and tell you, consistency builds momentum. Consistency builds momentum. Consistency doesn't feel sexy, but man, it gets results. And I am not in the game of being popular. I'm in the game of being profitable. I want to teach other business owners, listen, we have to do things that make us a little bit uncomfortable a lot of the time in order to stick out from a very saturated market, in order to stick out from our competition, in order to stick out from the crowd. Well, we got to do things that are a little bit different. But oftentimes it makes us feel alone. It makes us feel awkward and it takes a lot of work. But what if I said you didn't have to do it alone? Y'all, I'm really excited to announce we're going to do a challenge, 10 reels in 10 days. It starts April 11th, but like always, you could start this challenge whenever you want. I am just going to be committed to posting 10 reels in 10 days. I'm going to be doing a lot of cool things and be doing a lot of cool things in a community, because what I have noticed in the social curator community is one hot topic question is, are reels really even necessary? And I'm here to tell you, not only do I think that they're necessary, I am literally creating checklist of everything you need to do to create a series of 10 reels. So here are behind the scenes. So what I want to do is I'm like, okay, I know, so Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, came out and said, there are going to be 3 types of Instagram feeds. Your home feed, which currently looks the way that it is right now, your following feed, all the people you follow, and your favorites feed. Your favorites feed can only include 50 accounts. Our objective then as business owners is to ensure that if somebody is following us, they're going to be seeing our content. And Instagram has said that they're going to be indexing, at the time of this recording, they're going to be indexing reels above other content. So I am no mathematician and I'm not Nostradamus, but I'm thinking if the CEO of Instagram is saying, listen, it's time to make reels, I'm going to sit here and say it's time to make reels. But it's not enough for me to do it. As CEO of Social Curator, my objective would be what's stopping you from creating or doing stuff to market your business? Well, people are like, well, I don't know how. What if we created a 3-camera tutorial where we walk you through 3 different perspectives? And better yet, what if we gave you the captions to pair with that reel? Why? Because the captions are searchable. And if you were to fill in the blank to those captions and you did the tutorial and you stuck with us for 10 days and then you felt fully supported because you had a checklist, a timeline, everything that you should want and need to do. Friends, this is how we create momentum. I would love to see you on the inside of Social Curator. It's socialcurator.com/join. I would love to see you join this challenge with us. Let's do the dang thing. Now we're going to get into some live Q&A. Okay, Llama Jury says, can you give us examples of consistency? Yes, Llama, how about I do this? What I'm going to do, this is genuinely ghetto fabulous. What you're looking at right now, this is my Instagram feed. You will see days and days of back-to-back posts. What I'm going to click now is, this is my Reels tab. That's my drafts. I have drafts going on over here. I have posted Oh, I got a count today. I have posted 266 reels on Instagram. I have always maintained, I've said this before, that I cannot have an opinion about anything until I have done something 500 times. I can't have an opinion of a good writer if I have not read 500 books. I cannot have an opinion of a good movie or a good cinematographer or a good photographer until I have seen 500 movies or I have taken at minimum 500 photographs in a professional capacity. I must do the thing before I actually have an opinion. So Lava asks for an example of consistency, and what I'm here to tell you is what you see me do is posting reels because I see that as the future for marketing as of right now. Are there different ways to repurpose reels? Have you noticed that YouTube launched YouTube Shorts? These are short, under 60-second videos shot in vertical format. Sounds a lot like a reel. Have you noticed that you could repurpose a reel on TikTok? You can also, if you have an educational reel, use that reel and then post it on Pinterest as a micro story, and then you can have slides that flip with that and then have a clear CTA. Yeah. All of those things are being currently done because that is a form of consistency. And I don't want to BS anybody, but it gets harder over time because the more people that realize how effective it is to not just create a reel, but repurpose it, the more effective people realize. At the end of our 10-day challenge of reels, people are going to be like, dang, I did the work and I saw results. That means more people are going to be doing reels. And when there's more reels on Instagram, there's less likelihood that there's more competition for somebody to see your reel. So we have to constantly be innovating. We have to constantly be changing. We have to constantly be thinking, what is the next thing? And that is my entire goal for business owners, is how can I show up and make people stop having excuses? We have to normalize the conversation that marketing our business can be difficult at times, but if we do it together and we have a clear path, why not make it happen? Why not get the results? Okay. Alba Rodriguez, how to create so many reels as a social media manager when you're not the business owner or the face of the business. Alba, as a social media manager, your business model has to change. If you know that Instagram is indexing reels and then you tell your clients, hey clients, Instagram is indexing reels. Do you want to create reels? You must, number one, first get their buy-in. If they say no, then it is not your responsibility, Alba. They made that decision. If they say yes, then you have to say, great, in order for us to make reels, we have one of two paths. Path number one, I give you a script and I send you examples and then you record yourself and then you send me the clips and I edit them, or you edit it yourself and then you send me that. And then I post it to you and I manage engagement. Or you say it's time for us to invest in a content creator who will create content on behalf of the business that I get to post. That is truly the lay of the land for social media managers at the outset. That what was working before in the past as a social media manager, your objective is to explain to your client the importance of diversifying what they're doing and then give them the option of creating themselves or hiring a content creator to do it for them. Okay, David Stanford, do you have any alternative ideas of how to attract readers when social media doesn't seem to work? Ooh, okay. So David, I've been known to spit it straight. So I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this because I don't know what it is you do. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what kind of business you run. But if you're having a hard time attracting readers or interest on social media, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to attract them anywhere else. Because social media is the gateway. Social media is micro pieces of content that lead to larger pieces of content and bigger commitments. Social media is a microcosm of what you're going to be doing in long-form blog post, long-form podcast, long-form videos, long-form content, and far before they ever transact on your business. That social media is your training ground, it is your testing ground, and if anybody push comes to shove, I want to get into media, I want to get a publicist, I want my business to grow. Awesome. Heck yes, I'm here for it. You gotta try it on social. You gotta test it on social. You gotta sharpen your teeth on social. If it's not working on social, it's not gonna work somewhere else. The idea is to fix it on social, then over-index. This is why 100% David, 100% David, and anybody else who's interested, I am not posting free long-form educational tutorials and giving away captions that is not behind a paywall, not because I'm super interested in making money, although I am. I'm not putting out these massively valuable tutorials for free because people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. People will not commit what they do not pay for. And people will not show up in a way that they need to if they don't have skin in the game. So David, if you would like to move people to do greater things off social platforms, the way that you get them off social platforms is by mastering the social platform. Ooh, dang. I haven't even had coffee today. Somebody needs to say a little prayer for me. Sandra Coles, what's your best time management advice? Planning and batching. Planning and batching. If you do not have a plan for your marketing, if you don't have a plan for your branding, if you don't have a plan for your customer success, if you don't have a plan for your content, without a plan, it doesn't work. We can't shoot from the hip and be like, I hope that's it. If you don't have a plan, aka a map, you don't know where you're going. You don't know how to measure your success. So what is my best time management advice? Have a plan. I batch my content every 2 weeks. I know all of the posts that I am posting for the entire month, but I batch it in 2-week increments. I used to be able to batch it all in one day, and I teach a class about how to do that. It's my freaking favorite class. I love it. Like, we get down to business. Like, I walked through an entire month, and then all of a sudden I had a baby and life got real interesting, to say the least. And so I've noticed that I plan. I know all of my posts for the month. I write the majority of my captions in advance, and then I'm batching the visual content twice a month. So best time management is to have a plan. What am I doing each day? Do you know that every single day is planned? I know. Some people, it drives them crazy. It's planned to the minute. I am planning to the minute what I am doing, which is why I'm carefully watching the clock. And I realize that I have 3 minutes before I end this. So I'm going to take one other question. Mariella says, I'm a social media manager. Question, how would you get a shy client to do a reel? Voiceover reels? We would start over with the voiceover reels. I think those are super interesting. But on the inside of Social Curator, every week we drop trending reel audio, as well as other ideas for people who don't want to show their face in every single reel. So for instance, one of the tutorials that we created was the tools of the trade. It was this one. So this one was one that we advised for people to definitely try out, because the tools of the trade was just a reel, like with your hand or pointing to what you use in your business, so that if you were, like, say, a jewelry designer, well, you would have the tools of your trade, like maybe a hammer and some chains and like buffing tools. If you were a chef, the tools of your trade would be like a knife, a cutting board, vegetables, or whatever the case may be, and you don't have to show your face for that. I think this is a voiceovers and hand and pointing are all really great. And then oftentimes I actually saw just yesterday, a stylist came on camera real quick. So just imagine, like, this is like the reel, and she came on and she's like, and that's it, and she peeled out. But the text that she added over this is like, when I tell my mom's friends I'm a stylist. And then what she did was she just used lifestyle stock photography and added photos with text over them of things that they've told her in the past. I thought it was really cute, that it was really simple, that it was very smart, it was highly engaging. She showed her face on camera for maybe 2 seconds, and then the rest of it was lifestyle stock photography. Very smart. Okay, friends, like always, I pop in, I go live. I love these kind, amazing, brilliant conversations. I'm wishing you all the best. Now, don't, I'm like, before we go. The Reels checklist. Why is the Reels checklist important? Because I want to do a 10-day Reel challenge with you. You can find this on the inside of the community with group coaching and all the resources you need. Socialcurator.com/join. Y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy.